I guess we're talking about C2E2, huh? Come right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, kill this real quick. So let's talk about C2E2. What a mess. So, to be straight, I wasn't there. Unfortunately, this year's C2E2 being moved from the spring to the summer conflicted with Gen Con. In the last 25, 26 years now, I've missed 3 Gen Cons. Gen Con is my big one every year. It's my vacation. So I had to make a choice this year. It's also the first C2E2 I've missed since its inception. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what happened, because my entire social media feed, my YouTube is jammed up with it. I'm hearing about it on Insta. I'm here everywhere. Everywhere I look. C2E2 gate, C2E2 gate. So let's talk about what happened at C2E2, shall we? First thing I want to bring up, I want to make mention of Skeff, right? Skeff is a friend. Known Skeff for a couple of years, talked to him since this happened. He regrets it. He knows he fucked up. I do want to put out there, Skeff wasn't buying those 85 comics for himself. He did buy 10. Actually, he bought 13, 10 of which he sold on his Whatnot stream. 5 he gave away on his Whatnot, or excuse me, 3 of them he gave away on his Whatnot stream. And then the remaining were being picked up for another dealer who had already paid for them. He didn't jump the line. He had been there earlier. He had made the arrangements. But he understands how it looks. I'm trying to convince him that he needs to go ahead and put out a video, and I hope he does. Skip, I hope you're listening. I love you, brother, but he knows he fucked up, and it wasn't worth what he went through. My hope is, I can tell you from my experience and my knowledge of Skeff, that he is a genuine guy. Welcome back. Thank you, Blades. How you doing, darling? So, I know Skeff personally. He's taken this hard, and he understands how he made everybody else feel, and that's not his intention. He is one of the good ones out there. Does he flip comics? Absolutely, he does flip comics. It's what he's doing for a living at this point. He's making his living doing that. Does it make it right? No, and he knows that. Hopefully, we can all find it in our hearts to give him another chance. Because Skeff really is one of the good ones out there. That's all I'm going to say about that. What I will say, as far as the rest of that situation, here's the thing. If it had been your intention to buy that comic just to flip it, okay, I have no sympathy for you. I do it too. I do, every time I go to a convention, I've been doing it for 15 years. I buy up convention exclusive LEs. Some of them I keep. Sometimes I buy 2, sometimes I buy 3, and I might keep 1 and flip 2, or I might flip them all. In fact, at Gen Con, I went so far and I picked up some convention exclusive LEs. See? And I turned around and flipped most of what I bought. I kept some. But I do it in order to be able to afford to do the rest of what I want to do at the convention. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't actually take away from anybody at the convention. People are upset because, well, they missed out on that value. Well, let's be frank about that value for a minute. Libo, what's up? What's up? Let's be very frank about the value of con exclusives. What happens every convention with any convention exclusive out there is you get FOMO, and you got these people out there who have more money than brains. Not, just more money than they know what to do with. And they're so afraid of not getting whatever hotness is out there that they're willing to spend exorbitant amounts of money. Now, I love my comic books. I love my collectibles. I love my toys. I love my models. Here, hang on. Oh, I'm going to switch cameras here. I'm going to show you some stuff while we talk. All right. So this is a limited edition Naboo Royal N1 Starfighter from the X-Wing game. It was only available for a short time. I bought 3 of them. I kept 1. I sold 2 for people who weren't able to get them themselves. Did I keep someone else from getting 2 of these? Possibly. But as a result, I ended up getting mine for free. And if you had the opportunity and you had the means, why wouldn't you do the same? Right? But I have one. I'm a collector too. And sometimes I buy these things for myself and then see the astronomical prices that people are willing to pay. And to me, that money's worth it. I did it at Gen Con with the Battletech Alpha Strike bot set. I bought it for $80, face value. They only had 200. I got in line. I bought mine. It was for me. I bought it for me. And then the first one sold on eBay for $250 for a product that's coming out in 2 months. I wanted to keep it, but why wouldn't I double my money? You can call me a scalper. You can call it a shitty attitude if you want. I don't care. Because this is by taking that $80 and flipping it into myself, I got $220 for mine. But by making that extra $140, that paid for my dinners for 3 of those nights. I'm a scalper. But there's nothing wrong with that. Now the problem comes in when you're buying massive quantities, right? I buy 2, 3 of something. That's not harming anybody. Buying 75, that's another story. But here's the other side of that coin. And here's what I want everybody to think about. It's not the flipper's fault. If Black Flag wanted to sell to those whatnot, and they wanted to sell in bulk. But tell everybody in line, fuck you, we don't care about your money. Why? Because we're going to make ours. We know we've got our money in the bank over here by selling to these influencers, to selling these people who are going to turn around and make even more money because now you're afraid you're not going to get it. That's Black Flag's policy. If Black Flag gave a shit about you, the comic collector, right? Yeah, I'm not a scalper. You're right, Libo. I'm not buying hundreds of them just to make a profit. But even if I was, let's say I'm a retailer and I am there to make a profit. That's business. Black Flag chose how to do business, and how they chose to do business was to sell to this handful of people. And then here's the thing that you should have been even more pissed off. Why the fuck were they charging $85 for a single comic in the first place? I want to show you something here. When I went to Fan Expo a couple of weeks ago, I bought a couple convention exclusives. I bought a reprint of Batman 251. I paid $15 for this. It's a classic Neil Adams cover that I could never afford the real book. Well, I could if I really wanted to. I'm not willing to pay what the genuine book costs right now. That might change. And it's branded Look Out Chicago instead of Gotham. Love this book. But I paid $15 for that. I didn't pay $85. Let me show you the next one that I picked up. Boom. Lionel Yu, Virgin trade dress, signed. I picked that up, and I did only pick up one of these. I stand correct. I bought 2 because I bought one for my buddy. I didn't pay $85 for this. I paid $30 for this with the signature from the artist. And this is in damn good shape. I could have walked this to the CGC booth right there in the show and had it graded on the spot. I don't grade much. Then I bought this one. Another book, this is a book that I actually missed out on. It's Detective 880, for those of you who don't know. It's a, thank you, Blades. Um, I bought it direct from Jock. Scott Snyder already signed it. Jock signed it for me on the spot. I paid $50 for this one. Didn't pay $85. My point is, what they did, what Black Flag did, and I'm going to switch back over to my other camera here. What Black Flag did here was they took a book that they had printed last year, okay, already existed. They knew that they were going to sit on those 750 comics that they had left. They probably had a few more left over there. They just didn't tell you because they had to buy, when they bought them last year, they had to buy 3,000 of this book. And I want to, let's take a look at something here, shall we? Hang on just a moment. Let me cut this screen off. I want to show y'all something. Because, as I said, there's nothing new about that. There we go. That cover. And if I cut over here, let's take a look at something. Let's look at cover price for Ultimate Fallout 4. Let's find last year's 2021 Clayton Crane facsimile. Right here. Now, this is the book that they slapped an acetate sheet over and called it a new con exclusive limited to 750. But really, they had a total of 3,000 because they sold them last year just without the acetate cover. Oh, look at that. Near mints are going for $11. Now, they can't bilk us on an $11 comic. So they slapped an acetate sheet on it that is frigging hideous. I want you to see this. This is what they are so proud of. And this tweet has since been taken down from their website. They slapped a shitty looking USA label here, put an America flag on it for Infinite Black, and it says, "In God we trust, trust, America." The words "entrust," ENTRUST, you fucks. And I'm salty about this because initially they had said, well, we're going to give some money to veterans charities. Every reference to that is gone. They took this book and they jacked up the price to a ridiculous amount, $85. Oh, if you managed to buy their 10.0 slabbed one, they were charging $2,500 for that. For what? For a damn facsimile of an expensive comic. And this is what drives me nuts about these types of companies. And I'm looking at their stuff, and they've got other covers. Ooh, they had a Clayton Crane draw Ultimate Spider-Man #1, which was a knockoff of a book that Todd McFarlane did 30 years ago. So they're getting Clayton Crane, who's a friend of the store's, to reproduce in his own versions of classic covers, and they're reprinting known quantities, and yet somehow have the unmitigated gall to sell them to us for $85. I'm a veteran. I hate this kind of pandering. I absolutely detest this kind of pandering because that's what this is. There's nothing. What is patriotic about Ultimate Fallout? Why do we entrust America to this comic? It's disingenuous. I hate this. I hate everything about this fucking cover, especially because they use the American flag to bilk those of us who had the FOMO. Oh, it's a convention exclusive, I must have it, into spending stupid amounts of money. Stupid. And here's the other reason why I don't blame the Whatnot crew, Skeff or Nerdigirl or anyone else who got this book at $85 and turned around and put it on their Whatnot and jacked the price up. They could only do that if there was the demand outside of that convention. There should not be the demand for this. Not for this. This is garbage. This is hot garbage. This is a $10 comic book dressed up in the flag so they could sell it to you for $85, make you feel like you're going to miss something. I hate this. And I hate people, this company, they're having reprints done of known quantity comics. It's not like Ultimate Fallout when it came out 11 years ago. I missed out on Ultimate Fallout. And I'm going to show you this. Where are we at? Let me flip this over here. I'm a Miles fan. I'm an Ultimate Spider-Man fan. I didn't see it, Libo. I don't know if I missed it or I just didn't see it. But yeah. So there's my Ultimate Spider-Man 1. Oh, look. Raw copy signed by Bendis, unwitnessed. Because I love Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh, wait. What is this? That's the Death of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man 160. Oh, what's this? This is my Ultimate Comics, all-new Spider-Man. Second appearance of Miles. Signed by Bendis, right there, loud and proud. Oh, Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, signed by Bendis Raw. I'm a Miles fan. I'm a Spider-Man fan. These are my personal collection. These go nowhere. Does that mean I would, if I had known that this was going to blow up, I wouldn't have bought 3, 4, 5 copies, 10 copies, held onto them and flipped them? Hell yeah, I would have. So would you. And if you say any different, you're lying. But it's okay. That was speculation 11 years ago. And even those who picked it up, 2, 3 years ago. All right, I get it. But what they're doing is they're going now, 11 years later, and taking a known comic and they're having a facsimile reprint made. That they were sitting on a ton and they had to figure out, how can we make more money? They're the ones to blame, not the people who bought and flipped them. Because if nobody was out there, if people like you and me weren't out there buying it, they'd have absolutely no reason whatsoever to buy those up to flip them, because they're crap. And here's the thing: if you really want that cover, you really feel the need to have that cover, you can have it. You can buy it right now. Oh, you don't want to pay that price? Awesome. Wait a year, and that book's going to be worth garbage. Garbage. It's nothing. Because let me pull this up again, and we're going to take a look at the all of the Ultimate Fallout books, and we're going to take a look at some values here. Because while the first printing is worth a pretty penny right now. Yep. Wrong button. Sorry about that. The first print is worth a pretty penny, about $500. And that's the thing. People are spending ridiculous amounts of money on this stupid ass facsimile when they could take that money and buy themselves a raw copy of the first printing of Ultimate Fallout, if it's the comic that they're concerned about. But it's not the comic book itself that people are concerned about, because that comic is ass. First printing is worth $542. Oh, look, the official Marvel 2021 facsimile goes for $4. Clayton Crane's from last year goes for $11. Boom. Let's see. 2021, John Boy Myers, Masked goes for $18. Unmasked goes for $22. $50 for the Virgin. $127 for the Virgin Masked. These aren't expensive books. If you want the comic, go get the damn comic and stop complaining. But it's the, quote, convention exclusive. Well, guess what? This was a convention exclusive at one point, and it's garbage. Even the artwork isn't original. It's just a different perspective on Mark Bagley's cover. So why do we covet this so much? It's us that drives these prices to $615 raw. That's stupid. Someone yesterday paid $850 for it. 800, and today someone paid 700 for it. That's ridiculous. Those are raw. Those aren't even the slabbed ones. There's been one of the 9.9 sold for $1,000 on 8/8. So that was the one that they sold at the damn show. It's asinine. And we are doing it. This comic's not worth that. And a year from now, I'll be proven right. I promise you I'll be proven right. Because most of these convention exclusives, yeah, they might demand a premium, but there's no way it should be worth more than the second print Bagley cover or the second print Pacelli cover, which is gorgeous, that are genuinely new prints. This is something that they ordered, and then they slapped their own acetate cover on to jack up the value because they didn't want to sell, because they knew that crane cover would not sell as a quote convention exclusive if they sold it last year as is, and that it was only going for $11 on the secondary market. Let's see what you could have bought. Oh look, $49.99, 9.8 from last year's Marvel facsimile. That's what this is worth. $50 at most, if it's graded at a 9.8. Here's the facsimile edition from last year again, $19.99. That's actually really cool and really beautiful. The second print from 11 years ago at $100. Second print from 11 years ago with the traditional cover, $225. I mean, the prices that people are willing to pay, 9.6 CGC graded up to 112. Spend your money elsewhere on better things. Jesus. I hate to be that guy. And I'm not really one to tell you how to spend your money. If that's what you really want to get, God bless you. I'll tell you, have a little patience, because this thing is going to bottom out. Bottom out. There are people who don't know that and would pay anything because they don't know better. It's robbery. You're not wrong. You know, the Whatnot people who got that book, you know, my buddy Skeff included, and went and listed it and made their money, they know that it's not going to be worth that. But here's the thing. Those were auctions. They didn't set the price. They bought a book and they listed it for $1. And you and I and people like us went in and jacked that price up hard and fast. That's not the reseller's problem. And the fact that Black Flag Comics, they're a retailer. They're there to make money. If they don't want to understand the balance between making the short-term profit and creating a long-term customer, because there's a difference. You can only skin a sheep once, but you can shear them 1,000 times, right? By doing what they did, and I hope that our hobby teaches them a lesson about that. They went for the short-term goal. They went for got to grab it now. I hope that we all learn and we don't give in to that FOMO. You know what? I'd be happy if I went to Gen Con and I bought an exclusive and I got, you know, if I buy this for $60 and I sell it for $90, okay. You'll pay a premium for not being there. I will be able to make a little bit of money back. I don't need to make $120 on this. I did. Because someone out there is willing to pay it. And a year from now, that will be right back down to $60. There's something to be said for the thrill of the hunt. Okay? Sometimes you can find books later. You can find all of these collectibles later at a price that you're willing to pay. And don't fear on missing out. If someone's asking a price that you're not willing to pay, walk away. No skin off your nose. At some point, you might find that book. Now, if the price that you're willing to pay is unreasonable, if you're trying to pay, well, you want Action Comics #1, but you only want to pay $100 for it, you might want to look at the 1988 reprint that they did. You generally get that for about $20 nowadays. But if you're not willing to pay the price, then don't. But don't complain that somebody else is willing to pay that price. What I will say is Black Flag, what they did was bullshit. And then they let people like Nerdy Girl and Skeff take all the heat, because that's where the heat went, right? Put the heat where it belongs. This is 100% Black Flag. And the thing is, they were going to go to Boston. Apparently, they've now pulled out of Boston. Fan Expo Boston. They were going there saying, well, since the demand was so high, we're going to set 100 aside for individuals to buy one at a time. How about this, motherfucker? And yeah, I'm going to fucking swear here. I don't care. How about this? You tell all those influencers and those bulk buyers that they can come by your booth on Sunday and they can buy whatever the fuck is left over after the rest of the convention has bought it up. How about that? You're making the same amount of money. But what you're not doing, and the reason you won't do that, tell me how right I am. Let me put my Mr. Smart glasses on. The reason you won't do that is because you know you can build up a hype train around your fucking brand by selling them all to Whatnot. You're P.T. Barnum is what you are. There's no such thing as bad news. All news is good news, right? Because through all of this shitstorm, you know the next time you pull this bullshit, that people will be standing out there. And those Whatnot, and it's going to get even more expensive on Whatnot. I hope to prove you wrong. I want this community to fucking stand up for itself and tell these cocksuckers, no. Blame me all you want. I don't give a shit. Nothing they can do that's going to hurt me. I don't care if I'm demonetized. I don't care. I don't do this to make the money. This is for fun. So how'd I do? What'd you think, people? So much fun. So, for those of you watching on Twitch, I appreciate you coming over to Twitch. I really put this here just so I could use the tools, put it up on the VOD, and then I'm going to upload it right to fucking YouTube. Don't want to edit it. But that's it. I hope you guys learned something here. Man, don't let them get away with this. Don't buy the hype. Don't get the FOMO. All right? You want to teach people a lesson? Teach it with your wallets. Now, Black Flag's not going to care if, if they can sell it all to influencers and Whatnot and eBay sellers and get that hype going. As long as we're willing to buy from those people, they're going to keep doing this. But what happens is, if Comic Tom's got a stock of 30 of them, or Skeff's got a stack of 10 of them, or Gem Mint's got 30 of them, or whatever, and they don't sell for cover price because we're not afraid to wait it out, well, the next time they're not going to buy as much. They're just not. And Black Flag is not going to be able to sell as many. But it takes us as a community to be able to make that happen, right? It can't just be me. Here's the thing. And I tell this to my sister when she chooses to vote with her wallet because, HBO Max has Bill Maher and he's a horrible person, so she's not going to pay for HBO. Well, okay. What I say is don't watch Bill Maher. Boycotting the product just hurts you. I will not buy those products that have FOMO. But you know what? I'll go into these shows and I'll buy things that are reasonably priced within my price range that I'm willing to pay on a product. But if I'm not willing to pay it, I'm just not willing to pay it. And I'll tell you right now, out the gate, this piece of garbage, where's it at? Hang on, let me pull this up. Bada boom, bada bing. Were you? Oh, you're going to do that to me. No. That piece of garbage I'm not willing to pay for. It was not worth. It wasn't worth. Oh. The best thing. The thing that tells you how big a piece of shit Black Flag Comics is and why you really need to be angry at them is once they realized they were down to about their last 75 or 100 books and they'd sold all the influencers who were going to go hype it up on whatnot and get, and make that money there, they turned to the people who had been waiting in line all morning and said, hey, we're going to limit you to 2 copies. And instead of being $85, now it's $100. Right there. Right there. They were preying on your FOMO. The moment that they said $100, every single person in that line should have just told them to fuck off. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. Hey, I'm Tony. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Wednesdays every week. Tuesday night is You Got Me Monologuing. We're a nerd podcast, me and 3 of my buddies sitting around talking about whatever the hell we feel like talking about every week. Wednesday nights, and then the weekends when I have the opportunity, I paint miniatures on stream. Right here, this is my stream hovel. So feel free to come by and check us out anytime. Go in the comments, tell me how big an asshole I am. I'm okay with it. I don't care. I love every one of you who decided to click on. I hope you found this interesting or at least entertaining, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks very much. Have a great one.